Yeah. What we is, man? Live in the building. Hold on, man. All right, man. What's the deal, man? It's your man King Eric, the media assassin, live and direct, man. How everybody doing out there this evening? Hope everybody's having a wonderful night. And there's a lot that's going on within the hip hop culture that needs to be addressed. You know what I mean? There's a whole lot going on in hip hop culture right now. What's up, King Eric the Great? What's good, Spirit Wonder? Thank you once again yesterday for tuning in last night. We had a real dope interview with Rook from the Justice League. My man produced some of the biggest hits that Rick Ross had. I think that's why I felt that Rick Ross, he should have utilized the Justice League for this album. You know what I mean? Because that makes Rick Ross get into his inner pocket. You know what I mean? When he worked with those guys, that bring his total creativity out. But what's the word? The word today is this: Nas and Hit Boy. That's one of the biggest news in hip hop today. And I was gonna do a mini video about it, but I figured, like, you know what? I'm gonna do a live about it, man. So for those who ain't had it going on, Hit Boy, he revealed that him and Nas are no longer working together after doing, like, what, 5 years? After doing all these projects, they're no longer working together. And I'm going to read y'all the article right here on Billboard. Billboard said it yesterday. It said the pair made 6 albums in 3 years and have 3 Grammy nominations, 1 win to show for it. It said Hit Boy revealed that he and Nas had a falling out. Damn it, I'm not about to sign up for this. That's why I hate about this new shit, man. Like, they want you to sign up for these subscriptions and stuff just to read a damn article. Hell no, I'm not doing that shit. Hold on one second. Hell no, I ain't doing that. Let me go to another article. I'm not signing up for that shit. Okay, we going to Complex. Okay, it says here, Hit Boy had his prolific run with Nas has come to an end, revealing that the two haven't spoken in 3 years. Said during the Vlad TV interview with DJ Vlad and Elliott Wilson, Hit Boy opened about where things currently stand between him and the Queensbridge legend after the pair released 6 collaborative projects in just 3 years. He said, I haven't spoke to Nas in 3 years. Damn. We did 80 songs in 3 years. I produced almost every single song. And he also said, from 2020 to 2023, Hit Boy served as a driving production force behind the busiest stretches of Nas's career. The partnerships began with King Disease in 2020 before expanding to two separate trilogies. King Disease 2 and Magic followed in 2021, with King Disease arriving the next year. The duo capped off by 2023 by Magic 2 and Magic 3 within months of each other. The partnership also gave Nas a career milestone, with King Disease earning him the Best Rap Album of the 2021 Grammys, making it the first Grammy victory after decades of nominations. Despite everything they accomplished together, Hit Boy said he doesn't expect another collaboration. We did a lot of great work, but I don't see us working again. Hit Boy didn't exactly reveal what led to the breakdown of their relationship, but suggested that there was more to the situation than he was willing to discuss publicly. There was a lot of reasons, you know what I mean? But he said it's something I don't really want to dig too deep because it's pretty deep. Respect for what we have accomplished in 3 years. All right, that's interesting. Now, this is what gets me, though. I'm going to give y'all my thoughts about this. Why would you bring this up and don't get deep into it? Because, see, this is the thing with people when they get on these interviews. You bring it up, this situation with Nas. Now you got people leaving in a hangar. Now you leaving confusion out there. You could have just went ahead and just said, you know what, we did great work together. It is what it is, and moved on. But now you creating a conversation that people don't know now. Now you putting whatever mystery is going on outside now. Now it's the public business. And I don't know what it is because, you know, I don't know these guys personally. But from what I observe with Nas is the type of dude, he just hard to get at, period, man. He's one of the few, like him and Kendrick Lamar, they kind of operate in that same lane. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to work, they'll work, but then they'll just go to another planet. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. So now and then you go to Vlad of all places, man. Now you really open the door now. Now, okay, you said Nas and the Hit Boy series was a time had. We should appreciate it. It was good music, but I'm gonna give y'all my honest opinion like that. It was good music, but it didn't really stick out to me. I know you're thinking, man, what are you talking about, King? The shit gotta stick to me. Like, let me give you a good example. Nas was rapping his ass off on them albums. It put Nas in coast mode. Like, he was rapping his ass off on those albums. It showed that he could rap with the best of them. But you don't really remember off a lot of the songs off the head. You know what I mean? You don't remember a lot of the concepts off the head that him and Hit Boy did. They just did a good stretch of good music, but it ain't standout music. Cause Nas, he's on an entity of his own. When we want to hear new Nas, we want to hear Nas on the level it was written, Illmatic, Stillmatic, I Am. That's the Nas that's in the pocket. The Lost Tapes Nas. This Nas here that was rapping on the Hit Boy joint, it didn't really rattle the fence, so to speak. Like, it just gave me good raps and good beats. But I'm gonna tell y'all this is an unpopular opinion. I think the Primo album was better. Let me tell you why. The Primo album was better because it gave Nas something for us to remember to. Like, he gave us a concept of songs. The Primo, Nas and Preem gave us a concept of songs for us to talk about. Like, when you go, I can remember some off the head. Paul's tapes. He gave homage to the cassette. I remember, what's another song? The song where he did dedicated to the ladies. He dedicated to all the females of rap. The bouquet to the ladies. That's the name of it. Another one, Writers. He did Writers, where it was dedicated to the graffiti artists. He did New York State of Mind 3. He did this another one. I can remember off the head just like that. The best one on there was Nasty, Esco, and Nasir. Where he rapped like from 3 of his personas. I can't give you nothing much I remember off the Hit Boy albums. I remember Mike and Quincy. I can remember the titles. The titles was kind of like they stood out, but I can't remember things that really stuck out to me for those Hit Boy albums, so to speak. It was just a stretch of, getting Nas in that coast mode to where he can rap again. But in the Primo album, he was able to expound creativity. And that's what those songs were doing. He expounded more of his creativity on those tracks. Like, even when you go back to It Was Written. You can remember Suspect Niggas, The Setup, Black Girl Lost, The Message, I Gave You Power. That album was almost 20, 30 years old. I remember 5 off the head. The I Am joint. I remember Hate Me Now. Small World. The joint with Scarface. Nas Is Like. Undentifying Love. One of the best storytelling joints ever. Off the head, just like that. I'll give you another one, Stillmatic. Ether, of course. Got Yourself a Gun. One Mic. Second Childhood. Destroy and Rebuild. Off the head. I can't remember these records that him and Hit Boy did off the head. I don't know if it's because of the way that we're consuming music at this point. Like, it's too much music or it's too much going on. But I can't remember them songs off the head, the joints he did with Hit Boy like that. And that's not a fault of theirs, but it was just something lacking. You know what I mean? Maybe y'all, I'm sounded a sort of way that people could recognize. Maybe y'all can see what I'm saying here. Like the records were great, but they won't to that par. If you get what I'm saying. Because when Nas get into that pocket, Preem got him in that pocket. That's where you heard the dope concepts. You know what I'm saying? That's where you heard even Junkie. Junkie was one of my favorite ones. See, Nas got to get in that pocket because he's a deep writer. He's a deep thinking writer. We know he can rap, but nigga, we need some steak. We need some food. You know what I mean? That's the thing with some of the guys that's reaching that age of rapping. Eminem has gotten that stage. He's in his 50s rapping. Jay-Z's in that stage in his 50s rapping. But they gotta give us merit. We know you guys can still rap, but we need more jelly on the toast, so to speak. Like, we need dope concepts. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need. Now, I would like to hear Nas over Conductor beats. I would like to hear Nas. We already heard Nas over Alchemist. But Nas needs that creativity spark. Primo did that to him. That nasty Esco Nazir joint, one of the best he's ever done. The Hit Boy joint just put him in coast mode, if y'all get what I'm saying. It's just a situation where, okay, you just show up, do your thing, leave. Preem would sit you down. We're going to talk about a concept. We're going to give you a direction. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. It might take a while, but we're going to get there. But the point is, we heard Rappity Rap. We know Nas can fucking rap. But we need standouts. And I said the same thing about Eminem. Eminem, he can rap. But the music ain't standing out. The last couple albums he put out, it just didn't stand out. He'll come out with a joint here and there, but we need something like the Eminem Show, like the 8 Mile soundtrack. That's something I'm looking for. We need something of the caliber of Mockingbird or Toy Soldiers or Yellow Brick Road. A lot of the shit that he was putting out for the past decade, I didn't really remember at all. That's a fact. But I mean, you know, it's just sad that, you know, Hit Boy and Nas, that they you know, they still had good decent chemistry. I thought they were good albums, but they want to the caliber of what Preem was bringing to the table. You got to really listen to that joint. And I want to know if y'all feel the same way. Leave it in the comment section. We ain't getting the Eminem Show no more. At time he had. Man, look. For one, Eminem was on drugs like a mug. And see, with M, we just getting dope raps. He just need better production. Now, I don't know if he's trying to be cheap and just do his own beats, but that shit ain't cutting it, man. Like, look. You got Alchemist, you got Preem, you got all these guys within the snap of a finger you can have, probably for free. And he don't use them. That's what kills me with some of these legends. Like, they'll have these guys at an arm's reach and they don't never use them. Like, remember when Eminem did Marshall Mathers 2? And he did the Don't Front with Buckshot? That's the shit we want to hear. You guys are rich. We don't care about mainstream sounding music. We don't care about stadium music no more. Eminem is at a stage where he could put out a blank disc and go platinum. These guys are rich. And I even said this earlier. I even said this earlier. When these pop dudes, when they get commercial, they just keep on trying to chase that same thing. I wonder what M got to produce. He even produced the Pac album. Well, I'm thinking he probably got tired of waiting on Dre. That's probably for starters, because Dre take forever. Which is probably the reason why he want AI right now. That nigga need help. He don't have no, like, that's why he champion for AI. Like, ain't nobody else left to help him. Sam Snead ain't helping. Daz ain't helping. Him and Warren G, they in and out. Him and DOC, they in and out. He ain't got no help. So he figured, man, look, let me go and endorse AI. Let me go ahead and do that. But see, I told y'all this, and people got mad at me. When this album dropped, with that Missionary album, it was garbage. And I said, I'm like, this sounds like some corporate slop. Didn't I say that? And then come to find out now, Dre been using AI. He been using AI on that shit. That's why it sounds a little clean, but it don't have that soul. It don't have that to it. You know what I mean? When I listen to Chronic 2001, I ain't talking about the content. I'm talking about the beats. The Watcher hit me automatically. I just want to you be kissing and loving and loving. Hit me automatically. Still Dre hit me automatically. Big Egos with Mailman hit me automatically. What's your difference between me and you? My favorite beat on there, Lightspeed. All that shit. But listening to that in comparison to Missionary, you could tell that nigga was using AI. It didn't really have that soul to it. And everybody was in the comment section. Oh man, you not appreciating Groove. You not appreciating them getting older. They're not talking about gangster rap. They don't have to rap about being gangsters. You can have mature content. Matter of fact, my favorite Dre and Snoop collab was Imagine. That was off the Blue Carpet album. That took on a mature route. I ain't asked for nothing but a G thing part 6. We got to stop giving these niggas passes. Like, if it ain't hitting, it ain't hitting. We got to call it for what it is, and then they'll come back to the drawing board and make better music. We live at a time now when nobody doing that anymore. When Dre was striking out from 1996 to 1999 before we discovered Eminem, everybody was calling him on it. Like, Dre, you ain't hitting it, man. This ain't it. He had a whole album with King T. The beats won't it. And I love King T. Them beats won't it. He had an album with the Aftermath album. It won't it. People have to call these niggas out. But see, everybody wants to be a part of the conversation. They want to be a part of the industry so bad that they're willing to just shut up and co-sign anything. Why do you think a lot of these guys don't like us? Because we tell it like it is. We know what's dope and what's not. We have an understanding of music. And speaking of having an understanding of music, aside from the antics, aside from the weird shit that he been doing for this promo run, I got to say that Games album is dope. The Documentary 3, aside from a couple songs, Chuck can put out some good ass music. Now everybody's sitting there talking about, well, man, he got to work on a hook. Nigga, I don't give a fuck about a hook. We just want good raps, dope beats, and he provided. Y'all trying to parrot them 50 Cent narratives, and 50 can't even put out no music. 50 done. He can't put out no music, dog. That's why he gets upset. That's why his ego, that's what burned his ego. He can't put out no music. You know? Start liking my stuff. I will. I just don't see your shit because this damn algorithm. I don't see, man, that's what I hate about this algorithm today, man. Like, when I log on my Instagram or when I log on my Facebook or whatever, I see a bunch of motherfuckers I don't even know. And sometimes you just go ahead and start scrolling, and then you like, man, I gotta dig to see my peoples. You know what I mean? You gotta dig to find the people content. I know. I know, man. But I was just saying, man, that's just a frustration that I had with social media, man. I thought the Kingdom Come album was dope. It was good, because that's King T, but some of the Dre beats it didn't hit. Like, it sounded like he was using them shits from the Firm album. Like, it was just rehash from the Firm album. Now, that joint that he got up there with DJ Quick, that's the best joint up there. With him and what's his name? Kid Frost. The best joint up there. But going back to what I was saying with the Nas and Hit Boy, man, I mean, it's unfortunate that they fell out like that. I don't like the fallouts. I don't like them going on Vlad and this, talk about their fallouts. But at the same time, I'm thinking that Nas is an introvert. Like, that's just what he is. Shit, Large Professor said that he can't even get in touch with Nas and he put him on. like he just hard to get to. Like, when the last time you seen him and Damian Marley do work? They did work for 3 years. They did the what's the name of that album? They ain't worked together in a while. They said Dre beat was going downhill when he gave Raekwon the throwaway beat. Man, he gave him just a beat. Man, he just gave him a reject beat. I think that's one of those here nigga here beats. Like, damn, you been begging me all day. Here nigga here. It said the game doesn't need as many guest appearances. He need to do music by himself to show he's a big name artist to have a hit record. I agree on that. Totally agree on that. Because it's like an all-star feature of people. But we really want to hear you. He said Dre beat was going downhill when he get. Yeah, man, that was a throwaway. I ain't even really like that one, to be honest with you. I think it was called Catalina. It's been years since Damian Marley collabed with Nas. Now that you mentioned, they ain't collabed in damn near 15 years. I think it's called Distant Relatives. I have that album somewhere. It was a dope album. Just to bring up, why are they not doing music anymore? Honestly, I don't know, bro. Because Hit Boy was on Vlad, and he was talking about, yo, man, I just don't fuck with Nas no more. So he said it's something real deep. And I'm thinking, okay, nigga, why you gonna get vague like that? Why you gonna put that out there and then not answer the question? You know what I'm saying? So now you creating the whole debate. Now you're gonna have people on Nas's ear talk about, man, what's going on here? What's going on here? I really don't know personally. Some people are saying that one of the main reasons Nas disses himself from Hit Boy was probably because of his dad. His dad just got out of prison, and I guess Nas don't want none of that energy around him. I don't know, but it possibly could be that because Nas is now a brand. Like, he's signed on to do all these casinos and all these deals. Like, Nas is moving like a businessman now. And he really don't want nobody to taint his brand. I guess when these niggas start getting money, they start becoming more brand savvy, so to speak. But even within Hit Boy, that's none of. No, why are you putting that out there in the public? That's corny to me. That's corny to me. All right, I don't like how Hit Boy said it. Yeah, you need to just not say that. Because now you opening a different form of conversation. Now you're going to probably bring negativity into what y'all did. And I'm like, you giving that vulture Vlad of all people? Of all people, him? Now the press is really going to really hound this nigga now. And then, this is the bad part. See, people ain't thinking. His reputation may take a hit now because they're thinking, dang. So is he going to do this to me if we happen to not work together no more? He going to put me out like that? See, that's how your reputation get out there. Exactly, nigga. Hit Boy should have been killed. Hit Boy should have kept it moving. Glad, dude. I look at it like this: 50 shouldn't be and rapper shouldn't rap at the age of 50. He ain't gonna say the same thing to M. No, he ain't. He ain't gonna. He'll bark at anybody but M. And M is older than him. Hold on, let me make sure I got that right. How old is Eminem? I think Eminem is older than 50. Eminem is older than 50 Cent. So what are you talking about? You gonna tell Marshall to start rapping? No. He can't rap no more. T.I. straight bodied him. Fabulous straight bodied him. He can't get in the ring with these niggas. He was able to get up. Let me tell y'all this. I'm gonna keep it real. We all fell for it, bro. We all fell for the juggernaut. We all fell for the hype. 50 can't really rap with these dudes if you really want to break it down. He happened to take down Ja Rule because Ja Rule was on his way down. And he happened to come in with a different energy. He came in fresh. He revolutionized the mixtape game and he made better music. Now, where he really fucked up, his ego got the best of him. He started calling himself Curtis Interscope Jackson. Then he started barking at niggas like Jadakiss and Fat Joe and Nas and Styles P and what's his name? The Game. Even though Game is crazy, he ain't out rapping Chuck. He knew it. He ain't out rapping Game. I mean, we gotta just call it what it is. He can't out rap Game. He can't out rap Jadakiss. He can't out rap Nas. He knew it. That's way over. Now with Ja Rule, everybody was with it, but then that ego started coming in. He started feeling himself a little bit, and next thing you know, he started going at everybody. Even Yayo and Banks was like, man, this nigga getting us in too much shit. But if we talking rapping, I'm not talking, and see, this is how these dudes get away with the conversation. We ain't talking about how much money they have. We ain't talking about business deals. We ain't talking about vitamin water deals. We ain't talking about power. We talking music, bar for bar, rhyme for rhyme, pound for pound. Fifth can't get in the ring with these dudes. Not at all. But well, notice this. He didn't go directly at Game like that because Game energy matched 50's. What he did was this. Game's work ethic is crazy. He's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but with the nigga mad and motivated, he's a problem. See, Fifth, he was able to do that to Ja Rule. Because Ja Rule, we thought he was corny anyway. We thought he was on the way down. So Fifth was able to take advantage of it. But with these niggas here, it's a totally different ball game here. That's why he had to play the game. He had to use his industry muscle. 50 better focus on his power shows. See, exactly. Be the nostalgia act. But see, he can't do his foolery in Hollywood because it's boring. You want to keep picking fun at these guys in the rap world, but you ain't rapping. You can't have it both ways. And I respect what 50 do, man. I mean, come on. We respect what 50 do, man. He brought a lot to the game. I respect it. But when it comes to rapping, he can't out-rap those guys. He had more bigger success in terms of mainstream than yeah. Of course, anybody ain't gonna deny that. Said by the time he did Jada, we all knew he just wanted to be. Yeah, that's all that was. That's all that was. He was just trying to sell albums. Because people sitting there crazy. You gonna sit there and tell me that piggyback shit is better than Checkmate? Oh man. Cause the way Chuck was working, if 50 said one line, this nigga Game had a track. if 50 finally wanted to come outside and drop a diss record, Game had a whole mixtape. That nigga had like 70 mixtapes going at 50. 50 like, man, look, I can't do this shit. This nigga crazy as fuck. But I understand in a way how Fifth would probably dismiss him, because Game is kind of, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But we just talking music here. Like, we ain't talking WWE, we ain't talking story. We talking music, pound for pound, lyric for lyric. The Fight Land shit he was promoting, nobody talked about it. Even flops. Yeah, I'm gonna ask you guys this. Have y'all seen anybody wear them G-Unit sneakers? Cause they sold out last week. Have you seen anybody in the streets wearing them? Answer that. Anybody in the chat, have y'all seen anybody that y'all know wearing G-Units? Not in my hood. He said Game was on G-Unit as we left. They had a mixtape full of disses. Man, Game was crazy. That shit was some entertaining shit to watch, boy. I was entertained. Hell no. I'm trying to find out, because I'm like, they said them shoes sold like hotcakes. Like, son, I haven't seen anyone wearing them. Me either. I haven't. Like, come on. But the Game's album, the documentary 3, is pretty dope, man. Aside from even though I'm looking at, aside from the story, aside from the weird shit, stuff he does, when he's locked in, he's one of the best rappers in the game. I mean, I can't take that away from him. Nah, nobody ain't seen him. So, nobody rocking a G-Unit sneaker the same as your grade. Nah, nobody watching that, man. I'm just saying. I'm just asking a question. Like, I never seen anybody outside watching them. I mean, rocking them at all. Cause it's just crazy how we could make these numbers up in this era. You know? You notice how in this streaming era, we could just, in this internet era, we could make up so anything. We could make it all up. And it'll just go, oh, so-and-so did a 50. We just broke this record. We broke that record. But nobody bumping it. Same with the Drake album. You seen anybody bumping it outside? I'm asking everybody here. Has anybody heard anybody bumping anything for that new Drake album? I'm not talking about his old stuff. Whatever it be, cafes, lounges, clubs, supermarkets, people rides. Have you heard anybody bumping that Drake, any of Drake 3 albums? Because I'm trying to see some here. At the bar last week in my city. Okay, that's one. No. Okay. Okay. I mean, you'll hear his old stuff all the time, because, I'm not to take it away from Drake. He had a run. You know what I'm saying? Only a track or two from Iceman. Okay. I ain't gonna take it away from him. I'm not a hater. See, one thing people will know about me from covering hip hop, from doing interviews and all this, I'm not a hater. I might hate a motherfucker's fans, but I ain't gonna hate you. You know what I mean? And see, what people don't realize is this: the club atmosphere ain't even important anymore, because nobody really out in these clubs. It used to be necessitable to have a club banger, but these niggas don't even club. They don't even party. Hell, they don't even drink. It's like you trying to put out music full of melodies, but nobody does none of this stuff no more. It would have mattered 10 years ago. Probably one call when the hype was there, but now no. Simple. People will make multiple accounts and affiliate numbers to make it look like a lot of people like something. I got 3 YouTube accounts myself. That's what I was figuring out. Because see, I'm going to tell you this. This is the test right here. I don't believe none of these album sales. None of them. The real test is the concert. Now, I was sitting there looking at, even with Kendrick. when we seeing all these names, we seeing all this record breaking. Every day is a streaming record breaking. The big test is the concert. Who gonna pull up and show up? And Kendrick, he passed that test. Everybody showed up to those concerts, the Gen X, to promote Gen X. He sold out the whole world. Now, for Drake, this is what he needs. He got to get that tour. This is where the true test is right here. This will show you right here where your fans stand. Because we could juke numbers all day. You know what I mean? We could juke numbers all day. The tour schedule is where you find your fans. And we'll really see for ourselves if this album really hit like that. Because the tour is what really matters now. Niggas could juice up numbers all day nowadays. That's why I wish we could go back to the format of CDs and tapes. Because that way you could track who's buying. You could show your copy of who's buying. A motherfucker could sit there and click on your album 100 times. That's what academics in them be doing. You could click on it like 100 times to give it a stream. And what good is the stream and you ain't really getting money? We bragging off monopoly money. That's what it is. You know, Target. Yeah, exactly, my brother. What's that Drake tour schedule looking like? Then we'll really see what's happening. Now, if he sells the tour, then yeah, the album was pretty much a success. Can he sell out the tours? That would make us determine if the album's a success. Anybody could do gold platinum in this day and age. Anybody could go platinum this day and age. You could juice the numbers. That's why these guys need to get the physicals back. Street mixtapes made artists gold and platinum back in the day. And all kind. Exactly. That's what's missing. See, these corporations, they stripped all the elements of what made us anticipate an artist. Those mixtapes alone made Lil Wayne who he is today. Them mixtapes was how Lil Wayne built his identity. That's how he built his character. Cause we've known him just as the wobble, that type of nigga. But when he started putting out mixtapes, he started developing his own personality. You start seeing his charisma show a little bit more. You start seeing him flex his wordplay a little bit more. He started becoming more so his own man. Because we always thought he was the third best next to Juvie and BG. Turk was always the fourth man. But when he would put out those mixtapes, that's where he started, you know, coming to his own. Then he started hanging out with the East Coast more. He started hanging with the East Coast more and started getting his swag. He started hanging with the Philly niggas. He started hanging out in Harlem. That's how he started really getting his identity. Bill Clinton to Congress passing. All that shit hurt hip hop like a mug, man. Everybody wants to blame gangster rap and all that stuff. But that right there, that killed a lot of radio shows, man. Stretch and Barbito was killed. Red Alert in the morning. I think Red Alert was killed. I'm gonna give y'all a story here. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. I'm glad you brought that up, Paul. I'm gonna give you a good example of the Telecommunications Act at work. I'm gonna show y'all this. Check this out. Now, I was looking at this yesterday. Look at Rap City in 1994. I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna give y'all an experiment. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna show y'all something. What's the Communication Act? The Communication Act was signed by Bill Clinton in 1996. That gave corporations the ability to run monopolies. That killed off a lot of radio. That killed off a lot of the independent market. That killed off a lot of independent radio shows because now they will have to pay the regulation fee. Like Stretch and Barbito, they used to have exclusives sent to them by Nas, OC, the Artifacts, Redman. Bill Clinton doing that killed all that. So now you had to go directly to the labels. I'm going to show you why. Watch this. I'm going to show you something. Look at Rap City from 1994. I'm going to show you something. This is a prime example of the Telecommunications Act at work. I'm going to give y'all something to show y'all exactly what we've been talking about here. Hold on one second. I'm going to mute this. Yeah, shout out to my... Now look at the acts that used to get played in 94. I'm going to show you this. Look at this.
A smart choice from the Dennis choice.
Look at this. Shout out to my guys. South Central Cartel. These guys helped give me a breakout in the West Coast. But look at the acts that was played in 94. I'm going to show you something. Pistol Packing. This is 1994. Independent Act. Underground. Hey, look. Now check this out. Is it me or did Ice Cube kind of get his style from him? Listen to the flow. Gorilla, Ella, Cadaver, Hella, Beans, you ain't having no steam. Don't pour me a what up, shut up. A trick, get the pump, shots, your daughter get the love. That's what Cube got, that Don Mega flow. But, you know, going on. Okay, that's Snoop Dogg. You're going to play what's hot. But I'm going to show you something. This nigga here. I don't know who this is, but he's underground. He was able to get a shot. I ain't never heard of this guy, but he got a shot. I'll show you another one. Look at this. I never heard of this guy before. He go by the name of Stallion. But he got a shot. This is 1994, y'all.
Cause you can't be soft and be in high school in LA, and that's all he could take. He went straight to the pawn shop and bought himself a 38 and a fifth of Jack.
I ain't heard this guy a day of my life, but this is pre-Telecommunications Act. Everybody used to get a shot. Hold on.
Murders.
I'm gonna show you something else.
Call this 800 number and
I never heard of this person. I never heard this a day of my life, but he got a shot. Okay, they played the DOC.
I told you about the psychedelic jazz that hits you like a breeze.
I ain't never heard this guy. But he got a shot. There's another one. Look at this guy.
My cash on, so I'm getting my blast on, grabbing my clip and dash home. So it's on in the city where I slide. Forget about the troubles and get 9 to 5 and get high. Chilling with the DFC.
Never heard of him before.
Ways to get paid, I'm ready to get busy. Who is he?
But he got a shot.
So you stupid little.
That's how the game should be, y'all.
It's like murder, and moving up on my hits.
Now,
always keep my grip up on my.
I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna show y'all something here. Now, I'm gonna show y'all Rap City in 1997, after the Telecommunications Act was passed. I'm gonna show you a vast difference. You're gonna see a huge difference. Watch this. Okay, hold on one second. I'm gonna show you guys a huge difference.
Where collarbones crack.
A lot of underground acts got a chance at least. Yeah, but watch this.
Starts. Jernavix begins.
What did my man Cool Breeze say? You better listen to your corner and watch for the hook. Watch this. God dang,
Pay as little as $25 per month. Ask your prescriber about Wegovy pill today.
Now watch this. Show you something. This is Rap City 1997, June. What's the first video they gonna play? Look at this.
8 times.
First video.
Jay-Z. Tell him he just ought to keep his day job.
Jay-Z.
Everybody's out tonight. Yappo,
Big artist. That's the first artist they play. Now who's gonna play second?
Tonight, sir. Okay. Drop the feather.
I'm gonna give you another one.
Super Price, Best, Half Brother, yes. Back to you, Jack Leg in the studio.
Dope joint, by the way. Second joint. Crew. Dope group, by the way, but look who they was signed with. Look who they was signed with, though. That's how they was able to get that pull. Look.
I mean, Wolf right here, the first place to go, he said,
Okay, you see Will Smith right here.
We'll be back in a moment.
Crew was dope. But look who they signed with, though.
And we'll rock on and on and on and on. One trigger ready, hun. Peace to the rhythm.
I gotta find these guys, by the way. But look who they signed with. Def Jam. Def Jam was running shit at the time. Going on. We ain't see. You got Scarface. Scarface and Pop. Big artists. Rap a lot. What else you got? No underground artists so far. Like in 94. Hold on. I'm gonna show you another one. There we go. Look at this one. Mainstream. Dope song.
Never the one packing it. Got some other raw chicks for that. Lay your pants flat. I be's the one choking your.
Now check this. They all mainstream, commercial. Another one. Rest in peace, Heavy D. Who he was signed with. Commercial. You ain't see nothing raw. Everything has been party heavy so far, right? We ain't even see no West Coast niggas. Hold on. Except Scarface. That's probably like the bone they gonna throw at you. Hold on, I'm gonna show you another one.
Another sunny day. Yo.
I don't know who this nigga is. Hold on one second. I'm just breezing through the show. Hold on one second. I'm gonna find another one. Prove my point. I'm gonna bring it home. All this fucking talking, man. God damn. Got Ice-T right there. Okay, who's this?
Yo, keep your hands there and get some more. Go
I
ahead.
don't know who this is. Hold on one second. Okay. Hey.
With the tushy, the mask and gun. I was a fool to fall in lust with this evil genius. She had me by the. She ain't got, but man, she loves it plush.
Yeah, that's the bone they gonna throw at you.
Back in the days.
Oh, there's another one. Hold on. I'm about to bring it home. Fast forwarding a lot of this. There's a lot of commercials here. Good God. Half this stuff is commercials. Did you get my drift? Nothing but mainstream acts. You don't see no more. Hold on, man. They ain't got. That's all it is. Nothing but mainstream acts. I'm gonna go to another one real fast. Hold on. We're gonna go to another one real fast. You had to have corporate dollars behind you. Hold on one second.
Friends that tell me I should leave you alone.
More Jigga.
Tell the beast to find a man that they on. Right. Yo, ain't no stopping this, no lie.
And then Ocknell, that's when he went mainstream though. But you don't see nothing raw. He went commercial on this joint. Nothing hardcore. Notice that. The Fugees. But they would have sold almost $10 million. They had sold 10 million records though. There's another one. And you got Lady of Rage up there, but Lady of Rage, she's on Death Row though. You gotta be backed by the major. So you gotta be backed by the major for you to get play. Red and Meth, Def Jam. And I'm not taking away the talent, but we just showing you a difference. I think this is Heavy D. See? Uptown Records. See the drift? The difference. You have to have the majors behind you to get play now. That's the difference between 97, 96, and 94. 94, we didn't know any of these acts, but they got play. 96, 97, you had to either have some corporate dollars behind you, you had to have a major behind you, or you won't get on. They'll throw a bone. See, this is the slick part. They'll throw a bone at you here and there. They'll throw J. Rue the Damager, but look who J. Rue the Damager was. He was backed by Primo. He had a whole album done by Primo. Who the Primo worked with? Big. He worked with all the best of the best. So, of course, they was going to push him. Scarface. Rap-A-Lot. Tupac. You ain't going to let a pop feature go to waste. So they'll throw a real one out there, but yet most of the songs were melodic. It was nothing hardcore. It was nothing political. It was nothing really to hit you in the chest. There was really no West Coast niggas up there. Interscope didn't even push Lady of Rage album. They were even trying to get rid of Death Row and Suge. Yeah. They just threw it out there. They was thinking, okay, we'll throw it out there because... But you had it showed right there the change. There was the shift after Clinton signed that bill. 93, 94 Rap City versus 96, 97, 98 Rap City is night and day. Everybody that got play had to have deals. It was really no independence unless you was putting up your own money like Master P. But other than that, you had to pay probably double to get that slot. The slot back then probably was like, what? 10K? Now you had to put up a whole album budget to get that slot on BET. Labels at the time, they probably could have put like, what, here 5K, we got 10K right now, 15K. We're gonna put 5K on MTV. We're gonna put another 5K on BET. We could split it. We could put maybe about a couple G's on the box. Now, with the outlets getting eaten up, you only had BET and MTV, and you had to pretty much put your money there. None at all. The West Coast was a no-show with no Rap City videos you shown. Exactly. Every one of those songs had a commercial effect, though. It was nothing hardcore. It was nothing deep. I understand, because considering Big and Pac had got whacked, that everybody wanted to focus more on having fun, but damn, we still was having problems. You know what I'm saying? It was still real. Shit, it was still real out here, man. But I just wanted to do an example. I was going to do that the other day. but I didn't have the time. So now y'all see what I was talking about. The difference is night and day, bro. And stuff like that happened throughout the 90s, man. Then you start noticing in the 2000s, the independent magazines started getting swallowed up by these giants. Publishing companies went out of business. Reading prodigies of Mobb Deep and Mobb Deep probably saying the murder music, loud music was controlled by corporate. Exactly. All these mergers started happening. This started happening in the 2000s. Now, we were blind to the fact because the artists were still putting out good music. They were still putting out dope music, so we kind of like turned a blind eye to it. But now, you start really seeing how we are now. The seeds were already in the beginning. You know what I mean? The seeds were already in the beginning. Richie Rich learned from Leo Cole that those music slots were paid for. Exactly. If you couldn't get on BET with just 5 or 10 grand, 50 grand, nigga, you had to be in the millions. That's why when the indies got swallowed up, everybody had to go to a major. Everybody had to go through the majors, man. That's the only way unless you putting up your own bread, that's the only way you was going to get some video slots. And a video slot wasn't cheap back then. Matter of fact, I could probably look it up. Hold on. How much did it cost to put your video on BET? In the 90s. Now they said this here. In the 90s, I could be wrong, and it cost zero in direct fees to put your music on BET because the major networks did not charge artists or labels. Instead, music networks like BET and MTV treated music videos as free promotional content to fill their airtime, while record labels provided them with free to CD drive. However, actually getting a video onto airplay schedule required massive indirect expenses. The cost of video production. To get noticed by BET programs that cleared their strict broadcast quality standards, you just couldn't submit an amateur tape. The standard video had to be shot with a 35mm physical film, utilizing professional lighting gigs, sound stages, and high editing bays. A music standard video from an established rap or crossover artist regularly costs between $50 and $200K. Premium, high budget 90s music videos from direct like Hype Williams could clear $500,000 to $1 million. Yeah, it cost some bread back then to get on those slots. Independent promoters. Because BET received thousands of tapes, independent rarely broke through by mailing a package. Labels paid thousands of dollars to independent video promoters. These promoters had direct relationships with BET executives and programmers to pitch the video for specific blocks like Video Vibrations, Planet Groove, or Rap City. And they also said this: the summary of the pay-for-play myth. While rumors of payola paying a station direct to play a song and video have always cited the music industry, BET did not have a standard slot fee or price tag for video placement. The gatekeeping was entirely financial, based off production value, label backing, and industry connections. If you want to look at how the industry has shifted, I can break down what independent video distribution costs today compared to the 90s, or detail how record labels structure video budgets as recoupable loans against the artist. Basically, you had to pay to play. And if you independent, see, that's how Master P. See, Master P came in, he already had money. So, it was kind of like, that's why a lot of them early videos that he did, if you look from the 90s, the early 90s, from 94 to 96, they look cheap. But he was selling records like crazy. So he was able to recoup. And he always able to negotiate a figure with priority. And somebody said music videos that made in the 90s were damn expensive. Hell yeah. They said here, a label spending 25 grand for that collectible video to be made was total madness. Death metal and grindcore was hip and core, and the bands were regularly selling 100,000 copies in America alone. MTV actually still played videos. And this is why rappers were selling drugs to get off. It wasn't cheap. Shit, Jeezy, man, look, Jeezy, he came in with dope butt. Allegedly. He already came in with shoebox money with Def Jam. So, that's why it was nothing. But, if you coming in... Hold on one second. Okay. It said old school rappers were still doing shows to make ends meet because the streaming of their music, not paying what it's paying. Big facts. Jay-Z doing a 3-day concert at Yankee Stadium is suspect. Dude's a billionaire. And after years of no shows, no touring, all of a sudden he's doing a 3-day concert. Interesting points. Very interesting points. But I could also equivalent to that. Dude's probably just bored. Like, it ain't nothing like being active in the field. Yeah, you can sit back all day in your mansion. You can sit there and run your business and stuff. But you get that itch back. You want to go back outside and interact with the crowd, with the audience, because you know you're born to perform. But I will say this, and I got to go ahead and get going. I will say this. I wish these guys would try to train the new breed coming up. Instead of, I wish Jay, even though he could do what he want to do, but if he could just get somebody under his wing, that would bring the new breed of talent. Because, that comes with the complaint of old rappers being in the way. I mean, the old rappers wouldn't really have to be in the way if the new rappers didn't suck so bad. You know what I mean? That's the problem. That's one thing we got to address it. Probably in the next live. But, yeah. I'm about to go ahead and get going. I got to get the way to get work in the morning. Had to chop it up with y'all for a little bit. I'm about to sign up out of here, so I'll be back probably this week. So check me out. I'm Deuced out. Holla.